This evening, Chief Education Officer addresses concerns surrounding school dropouts. The Ministry of Health is working towards eradicating malaria in Guyana by 2030. Essequibo man appeared in court charged with causing the death of a 32-year-old woman in 2014. Internationally, Elon Musk's Twitter deal stirs free speech, disinformation debate, and Ukrainians investigate thousands of potential war crimes in Ukraine. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. After nearly 2 years of online learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic, students in grades 9 to 12 returned to full-time face-to-face learning at schools on Monday. Dr. Marcel Hudson, Chief Education Officer, stated that this is an exciting time for both students and the Ministry of Education. He assured that the ministry has not abandoned its obligation to maintain COVID-19 measures to secure the safety of both students and teachers, so they are still required to wear face masks, wash their hands, and use sanitizers. The necessary precautions will still be made in terms of the safety and security of all students. Dr. Hudson is encouraging all to get vaccinated to prevent the spread of the disease. The reopening of schools has also provided the ministry with an opportunity to estimate the number of school dropouts through its Operation Recovery Project, according to Dr. Marcel. The effort was initiated in 11 school districts to reclaim pupils who have been absent from schools at all levels. Some 1,300 students were not present at the recent grade 6 mock examination. Dr. Hudson stated that only half of those students who did not sit the exams has been found. An Essequibo man who was on the run for almost a decade appeared in court charged with causing the death of a woman in 2014, Esther Sobers explains.
26-year-old Nicholas Singh of Ramzul Region 2 was remanded to prison on causing death by a dangerous driving charge when he appeared before Magistrate Esther Sam at the Charity Magistrate Court on Monday. Singh was charged with causing the death of a 32-year-old woman, Chandani Das, of Annandale Public Road back on August 3, 2014. Singh was arrested on Friday, April 22, 2022, during an intelligence-led operation after being on the run for the past 8 years. He was unrepresented in court and was not required to plead to the indictable charge. According to reports around 11:30 p.m. on August 3, 2014, Singh dangerously drove his motor car on the Annandale Public Road, causing the death of Das. Singh was 19 years old and an unlicensed driver at the time his vehicle collided with Das' motor car. Both drivers were picked up in a critical condition and taken to the Saudi Public Hospital. The injured woman subsequently succumbed to her injuries the following day. Singh was placed in police custody. He appeared in court in August 2015 and was granted bail in the sum of $150,000. When the matter was called on November 18, 2015, Singh was absent from the hearing. He was officially charged in April 2017. Almost 2 years later, Singh was nabbed at his parents' home in Annandale Village, Essequibo Coast. However, he escaped from custody while still in handcuffs. He remained on the run until he was again arrested on Friday last. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Police are investigating a fatal accident that claimed the life of a 62-year-old man on the number 58 Maburu Trail on Monday, April 25, 2022. Dead is Randy Lee, a mechanic of Virgin Eugene, East Bank, Essequibo. Enquiries disclosed that around 2:30 p.m., motor pickup GNN 3286, driven by Lee, was proceeding south along the western side of the number 58 trail at an alleged fast rate of speed, when he suddenly pulled right as he swerved from a pothole on the road. Lee reportedly lost control of the motor pickup, which toppled several times before turning turtle on the eastern side of the road. The driver and 4 occupants of the pickup received injuries to their bodies. Lee was picked up in an unconscious state, along with the other occupants, by public-spirited citizens and transported to the Linden Hospital complex. Lee, however, was seen and examined by a doctor on duty and pronounced dead. His body was escorted to the nearby funeral parlor and it is awaiting a post-mortem examination. The other occupants of the pickup were all treated for bruises and sent away. Investigations continue. Stick around after the break. The Ministry of Health is working towards eradicating malaria in Guyana by 2030, and police in Berbice nabbed 3 people after unauthorized guns were discovered in their presence.
At John Lewis Styles, we carry only first quality, men's and women's clothing, footwear, and accessories. As authorized dealers, our items come directly from the manufacturing brands, and are available in all sizes and colors. What we sell was never on display in another store. It's time you know the truth about what you buy. Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. The police in Berbice, acting on information received, went to the home of a 47-year-old self-employed woman at Queenstown, New Amsterdam, and conducted a search on her premises for narcotics, arms, and ammunition, stolen articles, and wanted persons on Monday, April 22nd. At the time of the operation, two 30-year-old males, a welder from West Canefield, East Canchi Berbice, and a farmer from Adelphi Village, East Canchi Berbice, were found in the house. The police team searched the house and found a pistol with matching magazines and 7 bullets in one bedroom. A further search in another room discovered another pistol with 3 matching rounds of ammunition. The police took possession of the suspected firearms and ammunition. They told the woman and the 2 men of the offense committed, cautioned, and arrested them. They all denied ownership of the guns and ammo. The trio was arrested and escorted to the Central Police Station in New Amsterdam along with the suspected firearms and ammunition. At the station, the firearm and ammunition were dusted, marked, sealed, and lodged. The suspect remained in custody as investigations continues. On Monday, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony participated in an activity in Bartico Region 7 to commemorate World Malaria Day 2022 under the theme Harness Innovation to Lower the Malaria Disease Burden and Save Lives. As local health authorities continue to strive to eradicate malaria by 2030, a new method of fighting the mosquito-borne ailment will be explored in Guyana, as statistics from 2021 shows that approximately 20,000 persons tested positive for malaria in Guyana. Dr. Anthony explained that the new approach would see involvement at the community level, including early diagnosis and early treatment, prevention strategies, and surveillance measures. He noted that while the Ministry of Health has a national strategy to tackle the disease, there will be regional intervention in places most affected, such as regions 1, 7, 8, 9, and some parts of region 10. The ministry is currently collaborating with international agencies to eradicate this disease. Additionally, the Ministry of Health has acquired a gene sequencing machine while staff were sent overseas for training to do gene sequencing. Dr. Anthony also noted that while thousands of insecticide-impregnated bed nets were distributed to residents in high-risk areas, these are not being used. Don't go away after the break. Elon Musk's Twitter deal stirs free speech and disinformation debate, and Nepal's capital faces severe water shortage. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
At John Lewis Styles, we carry only first quality, men's and women's clothing, footwear, and accessories. As authorized dealers, our items come directly from the manufacturing brands and are available in all sizes and colors. What we sell was never on display in another store. It's time you know the truth about what you buy. Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
In a world filled with copycats and ever-changing trends, make your property stand out with unique concrete moldings. Different, exquisite designs carefully handcrafted to suit your style, with various customizable and antique and modern designs made at our factory. Antique and Modern Molding Establishment, We make your property outstanding. We make and install all moldings anywhere in Guyana.
The best quality, affordable prices, on-the-spot quotes, and no hidden fees.
Call us or WhatsApp us at 684-5050 or email us at modernestab@gmail.com. Antique and modern molding establishment made to stand out.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Billionaire Elon Musk's likely acquisition of Twitter has started a debate in the United States around freedom of speech and the role of social media platforms in regulating the flow of information. The Twitter board unanimously agreed to sell the platform to Musk for $44 billion on Monday, but the deal still requires the approval of shareholders, the social media giant said in a statement. Al Jazeera's Gabriel Alonso reports.
The deal is done. The month-long saga of who will own Twitter appears over. In one of the largest and most unusual tech acquisitions ever, the board of directors at Twitter unanimously agreed to sell the social media company to Elon Musk for $44 billion. Up until the deal was announced, there was doubt on Wall Street that Musk could cobble together the financing needed, but he did. Musk helped pay for the deal with $25.5 billion in debt financing by a group of banks led by Morgan Stanley. In a press release announcing the deal, Musk talked about improving the platform by getting rid of automated spam accounts and making its algorithms open to the public and authenticating all users. But for Musk, buying Twitter is about free speech, or at least his version of it, potentially ending Twitter's current content moderation or stopping deplatforming of users who break the rules.
Elon Musk is not buying Twitter for financial reasons, although he thinks he can make some money on it. He's buying it for ideological reasons. And I think that's the really important part in all of this. And that's ultimately what's scary.
With Musk in control, they fear a return to the unruly spread of disinformation on the platform. So is today a good day or bad day for Twitter users?
That is probably the most important question here. And I think it's also the question that's going to be hardest to answer. I think that if he undoes a lot of the work that has been done trying to protect against sort of normatively bad speech, such as misinformation and especially hate speech, that's going to be a bad day for Twitter users. But, you know, there's a chance that he takes over and doesn't sort of have quite as sweeping of a reform agenda as he's put forth over the last couple of weeks.
It's been a tumultuous month for Twitter that saw Musk take a 9% stake in the company, making him its largest shareholder. He was then offered a seat on the board of directors, only to have it abruptly revoked, followed by his cash offer to buy the entire company, all within the last few weeks. Ultimately, Elon Musk got what he wanted, to not only be a Twitter user, but to also be its owner. Gabriel Elizondo, Al Jazeera, New York.
Nepal has plenty of water from annual monsoon rains and rivers fed by the melting glacier in the Himalayas. Yet, every year the capital, Kathmandu, suffers from an increasingly acute water shortage. Al Jazeera's Ramiata Limbu reports.
Every morning, Sanumaya Bishta collects water from these centuries-old stone taps in Dhobighat, a suburb of Kathmandu. Once a week, water is also piped into her home, but it's barely enough for her family's needs.
Many people come here and wait in line to collect water. It's never empty. It's crowded in the mornings. Some people come as early as 3 a.m.
Across the road, women pay to use pond water to wash clothes. Kathmandu's rapidly growing population is straining the city's already overwhelmed municipal water system. Most people have to buy water from tankers at high prices. The city relies on aquifers fed by monsoon rains. But as it expands and demand for water rises, they're running dry. Kathmandu is home to 4 million people. The city requires 430 million litres of water a day. Less than half that demand is being supplied. Residents hope the ambitious and long-delayed Melamchi water supply project to pipe water from the river to the city will reduce demand. That project is run by the public utility KUKL that's now upgrading infrastructure to protect water supplies from the Melamchi River.
The target of our KUKL company is to distribute the available water equitably and without without more leakages, you see. As a network of Kathmandu Valley is old, more than 100 years, so there is a lot of problem of leakage, water leakage. That is why also we are shifting from old network to new network, which are undergoing now.
Organizations like Smart Pani are also seeking solutions to the city's water shortages.
There are very many schools in Kathmandu Valley which are struggling to manage water and provide safe water to their kids, So that's why we work with public schools where there is a dire need of water and support them with an alternate resource of water by harvesting the rainwater that is falling on their own rooftop. We're just filtering it and ensuring that it can be reused.
Unpredictable monsoon rains and a rapidly growing city are clearly big challenges here. But many hope that by conserving water, they'll at least start to reduce them. Ramyata Limbu, Al Jazeera, Kathmandu.
And finally, Ukraine is investigating more than 500 suspects for committing thousands of potential war crimes during the past 2 months, Al Jazeera's Hoda Adel Hamid reports.
Ever since the Russians pulled out a few weeks ago, Detective Victoria Nemerova and her team have been exhuming bodies, at least 10 daily. A task she never thought she would be doing when she first joined the police. This time, her team is unearthing the body of a person buried in the backyard of a house. They carefully dig, carving around the body, trying to figure out how it's positioned. These are the feet, so the head is over there, she says. A first assessment reveals it's a man who appears to be in his 60s. It's only when they flip the body over that she finds a clue into the cause of death.
He's got a wound at the back of the head. Most likely it's from a bullet because he had blood coming out of the mouth. The body is decomposing and the skin is stuck to the clothes. So in order not to damage it more, we will take him away and then the forensic experts will investigate further. We found his phone, we will charge it and hopefully find out more about him.
The full scope of what happened when the Russian soldiers left the towns north of Kyiv is still not clear, but the trail of destruction left behind is evident. Civilians have been telling about how they were directly targeted as they were trying to flee. There are bullet holes all over this windshield, but this car was hit by some large caliber ammunition from the side here, and you can see still the remains of what appears to be a white flag marking the fact that they were civilians in this vehicle. And then here on this side of the car you see the point of exit of whatever ripped through the car, and inside it's mayhem. You still actually have blood stains everywhere, and in the middle of all that, a passport. It belongs to a young man who was born in September 1990.
Children who killed. This is the number. And there are children, but again, we don't.
It's another example of alleged war crimes among the thousands of cases that investigators have been documenting, says Ukraine's prosecutor general. She has dispatched teams around the country to gather evidence. Here in Borodyanka, they're set up in a classroom, and it's full of people telling their stories.
Again, killing civilians. Some of them were after tortured civilians. We now started to prosecute sexual crimes, raping. We see it, unfortunately. We see then they took property of civilians. Or we see again that they bombed again and again, they bombed civilian infrastructure. Hospitals, kindergartens, schools, more than 1,000 educational institutions destroyed in Ukraine. What is this? Of course it's military, it is war crime.
In nearby Bucha, the morgue is overwhelmed. Refrigerated trucks are also overflowing with bodies. Olga finally found her husband after coming here for several days. He was killed while she was away in Poland.
The neighbors called and said me he was shot on March 20th. He was going to the garage to get some food. 2 Russian soldiers saw him, ran after him and shot him twice. The Russians didn't allow the body to be picked up for 3 days.
Russia denies committing any atrocities, suggesting they've been staged. But the UN Human Rights Office says there is growing evidence of war crimes committed by Russian soldiers, and fears many more could emerge as the fighting continues in the east and south of the country. Hud Abdelhamid, Al Jazeera, north of Kyiv.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.